Lynn Wood, attorney for Kyle Rittenhouse, says that he was locked out of Twitter account. Quote, "I'm going to take Jack Dorsey's ass down," Wood tells Fox News. Says the high-profile attorney for Kyle Rittenhouse, the 17-year-old charged with fatally shooting two people in Kenosha, said he was locked out of his Twitter account Tuesday after posting about raising money for Rittenhouse's legal defense. So we know that that he, GoFundMe banned his account. Lynn Wood argued that the action against his account is the latest example of Twitter censorship of conservative voices, and he intends to file a lawsuit against the social media giant and its CEO, Jack Dorsey. "I'm going to take Jack Dorsey's ass down," Wood told Fox News. "He's been abusing the First Amendment of this country for his own agenda." Hours after the account had been suspended, Twitter said that it made a mistake in a statement to Fox News. How many times do we see this, right? How many times do we see this? They say it's a mistake every time. When Donald Trump was banned, it was a mistake. When all these other people were banned, it was a mistake. When Lynn Wood was temporarily locked out of his Twitter account, it was a mistake. Donald Trump's getting, fact-checked on his Twitter posts right now. He's getting Twitter posts deleted, completely hidden from the timeline. They're just seeing how far they can go. And now, they're banning us one by one. They're slow boiling the frog in regards to censorship on social media platforms. They did it, on YouTube. They have been doing it on YouTube for a long time. The company has taken a more active role of screening posts and made the high-profile decision this year to call out President Trump's tweets for the first time, drawing the ire of many conservatives. Wood also represents Nicholas Sandmann, Carter Page, St. Louis couple Mark and Patricia McCloskey, the most based lawyer in town, by the way, Georgia congressional candidate Marjorie Greene, and Dr. Simone Gold. Now, if you remember this a couple of days ago, and I hate to toot my own horn, as they say, but I talked about the potential for Lynn Wood to be banned or censored by Twitter, and I said that we need access to the conversation, right? Everyone needs access to the conversation, and why this is so important and why Republicans should make this a top issue for them, or at least Trump should make this one of the top issues for his agenda for 2020, which social media censorship wasn't even listed on the 2020 agenda, but he should definitely add it to his 2020 agenda. But here's what I said. This was on August 30th, 3 days ago, about Lynn Wood and his access to Twitter and why it's so important that he has this access to Twitter. Take a listen.
But it was first said that he was traveling across state lines
sorry.
to a protest.
I was on double speed there. I'm on double speed there. Hold on. 'Cause I usually watch videos on BitChute and double speed, but let's go back. I think it's something like this, right here. What I can say is that my advice still stands. I mean, don't go to these riots and protests. I mean, if you're protecting a business or a home, that's completely fine. But it was first said that he was traveling across state lines to go to a protest, to participate in a riot, conspiracy to riot, right? This is the typical charge that they get people on, but that's not true. He was working as a lifeguard. And then it was also said that he had this gun and brought this gun illegally across state lines. And this was still spread by the mainstream media. But once again, thank goodness for social media, because we're able to combat this mainstream media narrative once again. Thank goodness for his lawyer, who has a social media account, because he's able to combat this mainstream media narrative once again, just like with the Covington Catholic kids. And this is, if he's wiped off of Twitter, when does the word get out? Who finds out about the word? If we're all gone from these social media sites, how does this word ever spread? And this is one of the reasons why the GOP needs to get it. And so there you go. That's what I said on August 30th, which was 3 days ago. Double Vince. And so yeah, how would Kyle Rittenhouse raise funds for his legal campaign? Right? How would he raise funds for his legal campaign if not for his lawyer, who has a Twitter account, who's able to spread the word about his legal campaign? So now what he's saying is that he's going forward, he's only going to be using Parler to spread new information about, the Kyle Rittenhouse case. So all of the updates for the Kyle Rittenhouse case, all of the updates for the fundraising campaign for Kyle Rittenhouse, and for the McCloskeys and things like this are going to be on Parler. He's going to post them to Parler, and I guess that this is probably a good occasion, a good enough occasion to plug my Parler. It's parler.com/Vincent James or Real Vincent James. Link in the description below. Just look below the thing that you're watching, the video that you're watching. I'm pretty sure it's parler.com/Real Vincent James. That's my Parler over there. Make sure to go check me out. But he said that all of the updates are going to be on Parler. Kenosha gunman Kyle Rittenhouse's lawyer plans to sue Twitter and threatens to take CEO Jack Dorsey's ass down after his account was blocked for glorifying violence. I mean, how much time does this guy have on his hands? I mean, he's defending, like, how far can he spread himself and his colleagues? I mean, if he's defending Mark McCloskey and Patricia McCloskey, and he's defending Kyle Rittenhouse, and he's working on the payments where the media is paying out for, Parler is pretty cool, paying out for the Covington Catholic kids and all the rest of these people, and now he's planning on just waging war, launching an all-out battle on Jack Dorsey and Twitter. I mean, how effective is he actually going to be able to be? I mean, he's going to have to hire a shit ton of people. Maybe he can use, I don't know. I mean, if he asks for money, I'll donate to him because he's successful, because he shows that he's a winner, right? He shows that he can win. So if you show that you can win, I'm gonna back you. Lynn Wood is one of several lawyers representing 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse. This time it's like an actual teen. The teen was charged with shooting dead 2 protesters and injuring a third in Kenosha, Wisconsin last week. Wood said he was locked out of his Twitter account for 9 hours on Tuesday night after he tweeted about raising funds for Rittenhouse's legal defense. The attorney says he was falsely accused by Twitter of glorifying violence. Twitter admitted after several hours that his account was mistakenly disabled. Bull fucking shit. Wood now plans to file a lawsuit against Twitter and its CEO Jack Dorsey for trying to censor conservatives. We also have the story out of The Hill, which talks about the GOP lawmaker who posted something, and Facebook removed his post for inciting violence. Vince, isn't Lynn Wood a Q guy? Yeah, probably, but who cares? At least he wins. I like winners. Facebook removes GOP lawmaker's post for inciting violence. Rep. Clay Higgins, Republican, suggested in a Facebook post on Tuesday that armed demonstrators in his state should be met with force, leading the social media platform to remove it for breaking its policies against inciting violence. There's a lot of things that are better than Q guys out there, right? There's a lot of things that are worse than Q guys out there, right? He can be some absolute lib shit global homo retard, or he can be someone who might be watching Q content. Like, which one? Like, weigh your options here. The guy who is watching Q content, who is standing up for the white teens who are defending themselves or who are slandered by the media, who are standing up against big tech, who are actually successful, who actually win, who got the Covington Catholic kids a win, who are standing up for the McCloskeys, defending themselves. This guy over here, or some like lib shit, global homo retard, like, which one would? Of course, we're going to go with the Q guy. Everyone has their flaws. In the post on his campaign account, Higgins attached a photo of black men with guns and wrote, "One-way ticket, fellas. Have your affairs in order. Me? I wouldn't even spill my beer. I dropped 10 of you. Where you stand." It's just absolute boomer posting here by this GOP lawmaker. Nothing personal. We just eliminate the threat. We don't care what color you are. We don't care if you are left or right. If you show up like this, if we recognize threat, you won't walk away, Higgins continued. And so Facebook deleted his post for glorifying violence. Pretty funny post, actually. My goal is to eventually become a powerhouse of truth. That is why it is imperative that you check the links in the description below and go to either Patreon and Subscribestar and support us for at least the cost of a cup of coffee a month. We already have writers writing for TheRedElephants.com, but we'd like to bring on more in the near future. By the way, at TheRedElephants.com, you can also find t-shirts, hats, and other products. Check the links in the description below. It helps us out tremendously.